Hey guys, Bryce here from Tunity Families, where we do the research so you don't have to. And if you haven't been checking out our videos lately, we do review videos of all kinds of like tech gear or things just around the house. But lately we've also been doing just some kind of do-it-yourself projects. And so check those out. We've got a couple of them. One of which we recently redid our cabinets in the kitchen with the Rust-Oleum transformations kit. And one thing we promised was that we were going to show you adding crown to your existing cabinets if you don't already have a crown molding. So you can take a look here. We've just gotten started, and what I did is just got a 3 1/4 inch crown, and then I won't get into the specifics around all the cuts and everything. They make jigs and stuff if you want to help making the cuts on this crown. These are standard 45 cuts, and then on something like an inside corner cabinet like this, you do 22.5 degrees on your angle cuts. But it came together pretty nice. We used a very small pinhole nailer to nail this together, so can't even see those. Went around, and what we really did is on the existing cabinets, you'll see that there's just this trim that goes along the top, and our cabinets were just kind of flat all the way along the top. And after we redid our cabinets with this stain and protective coat, we added some of this hardware. We thought that it'd really dress these up by putting a crown molding on. So we just actually took and nailed these right to that existing trim that was up the top, so it just kind of gives it something extra. What we've done so far is after nailing them up, just went through and caulked around here, just a little bit of some like wood filler on a couple areas. Like here's one spot that you may be able to see where there's kind of a gash in there, and I filled that and sanded it, and then just kind of sanded everything nice, made sure that all the edges were clean. But yeah, it wasn't too hard. So just kind of one tip that I'm recalling from another job where we did some other cabinets downstairs. We made some built-ins and just took some standard cabinets that had a similar trim like this, and we added some crown molding to the top. At the time I just used a standard finish nailer, and it was really tricky to just kind of nail these together. I think on one of them, I had like a 1-inch nail that had actually split outside the wood here, and it caused a big problem. I had to recut that piece and everything and be really careful with how I was nailing it up. But this time we used just a really small pinhole sized nailer. It's just made by Porter Cable, but you can get different brands and stuff, but that definitely does a better job. And that's what a lot of the professionals will use on the high-end cabinets, and they'll just use these little tiny pins. The pins themselves are just really small. So anyway, if you are thinking about what type of nailer to use, definitely use those smaller ones, because I've made the mistake before and wasn't as happy with how it turned out. So there you go. We're going to be going through and using the same stain that we did on the cabinets. So the same Rust-Oleum, I think we used kind of like an espresso color is what it was. But we're going to do that next. I just wanted to show you kind of what it's looking like so far. We'll do that, and we'll just kind of show you how it turns out from there. Okay, we're back after staining the crown molding, so just wanted to show you how that turned out. As you can see, got it the same dark espresso color as the cabinets. These are oak cabinets, but we used pine for the crown that had a little bit of grain in it versus using something like MDF, and wanted something, of course, just natural wood that would take the stain. So we've done one coat, and it actually turned out pretty good with just one coat versus doing a couple coats on the cabinets themselves. And this edge is pretty tricky. I think in hindsight we probably would have been better to at least stain this edge or at least this piece before nailing it up, because it was pretty tricky. We had to tape all along here, then you know that's never perfect, and so it bled just a little bit, and I had to come back and touch up the wall with, you know, this gray as well. So that's one thing probably we've done different. And you know, we can go back and put the same protective, you know, glossy finish like we did on the cabinets on this crown, but just wanted to show you that it did turn out pretty good. Pretty happy with just one coat. You can kind of see just, you know, with regular cabinets that don't have a crown molding, just adding a crown to it, you know, it wasn't a lot of effort to go through and, you know, just make your cuts, use the nailer that we mentioned, but it just adds, you know, so much more to the top of your cabinets. And so instead of spending a ton of money on new cabinets, or, you know, even with this Rust-Oleum Transformations kit that we've used both for the cabinets and now this crown, you know, it's a fairly inexpensive project. Did take some time, but turned out great in our opinion, and it really just did a lot to change the kitchen, especially as we've, you know, added granite countertops and changed the backsplash and redone the flooring and added, you know, these new appliances and some lighting in here. So pretty happy with it overall. If you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe to our channel, leave us some comments, tell us what you think, tell us about some of your projects or other products that you've used for your cabinets, or if you have any other ideas or suggestions or comments about adding a crown molding to the top of your cabinets. So until then, we'll see you next time.